Hey everyone, it's Ryan with Stock Investing and Trading 101. Today we're going to be doing an app review for an app called TradeUP, which you'll see here, the yellow app. This is a free trading app similar to many of the other trading apps that I've already done reviews on. So I've already reviewed Robinhood, First Trade, Webull, Stash Invest, numerous apps, and we've kind of talked about the pros and the cons regarding each app. So that's what we're going to be doing today, talking about TradeUp. We're going to talk about the pros, the cons, what I like and what I don't like about the app. Before we get into that, I want to remind you guys, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. Also, if you can just smash that like button real quick and drop a comment letting me know what you guys want me to cover in the future or any other trading apps you'd like me to review, please do so now. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm and just supporting the channel in general. But let's get right into the app review for TradeUp. TradeUp is a free trading app. Once you download the app and open it, you'll see a screen that looks something like this. I will say that the app is very basic. It kind of reminds me, it's very similar to Doe, the app, in regards that there's just not a whole lot to it, and so it's pretty easy to use. So it's kind of a pro and a con that it's so basic, but there's just not a whole lot of features and technology that goes into it. But first, once you open the app, you'll see 4 buttons here in the bottom. The first one is called the watch list. This is similar to any other watch list on, every broker has their own version of this. So from here, you can add your own companies. Let's say you want to create a watch list and have, Microsoft, Apple, Tesla. You can add each individual stock to your watch list and just create something that works well for you. They also have a button where you can click on either US, Hong Kong, or global. And this way you can kind of analyze each market. So for example, we're analyzing the US market. We can see the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ, and the S&P 500. These are the 3 main indices for the United States. You can also see, today's summary of gainers and losers, as well as, commodities, industrials, and the top industries. So you can see like mortgage, like Rocket Mortgages is doing very well. Coal and consumables are doing very well as the precious metals such as gold are all doing very well. So this shows you like the top specific industries for that day. And it'll also show you the most popular stocks. So these are stocks that are trading on very high volume, and it can be very useful information to, obviously volume is going to be very important in bringing stock prices up or down. So it is very useful information. Next, you can look at Hong Kong, which is, it's in a similar fashion that the United States is. You can see there are 3 indices. You have the Hang Seng and these other indices, which are pretty much the equivalent of like the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 for the United States. You can also see individual Hong Kong stocks. You have their top performers, the ETFs, just very similar to the United States. And lastly, you have the global markets, which I personally like. This is a little bit more detailed and in-depth than many other brokers. Many other brokers might have something similar to like the United States section where you can see the indices, but not many of them have like the global markets where you can see like the Africa ETFs, the Europe ETFs, and obviously you could do this manually by, adding these specific things to your watch list, but it is nice just to have it in one place and be able to see how the rest of the world is performing on a specific day, because I will say that majority of these free mobile brokers don't offer access to the global markets. Like for example, on Robinhood or on Doe, you're not going to find something like this that's actually built into the app. So that's the watch list section. Nothing too special. I will give it, I guess, more of a pro than a con, just because it has more information than some other watch list sections. Next, if you click on the next button, this is the Discover tab. This allows you to pretty much see the most recent stock news that's going on. It will give you news for the stocks on your watch list, as well as just very important news regarding the stock market. So, the majority of apps offer news like this. It's really nothing special, but I also will give it a slight pro over a con that it does give you good information and it doesn't really have a lot of filler. Like a lot of times you'll see in the news section, it's just a bunch of filler that's unimportant. They seem to pretty much show you the good stuff and keep the filler out. Next, while still in the Discover tab, you can see the In Focus button here. This is pretty much going to show you the stocks trading with the most volume for the day, which once again is actually very important to know which stocks are pretty much trading on volume for that day, because it does affect the stock price. As you can see, many of these stocks are up 10 to 20% because they have such high volume. You can also see stocks that are trading the most amount, which of course is a lot of the mega cap tech and indices. You also can see the most active, and I really like this one that you can look and see the most active stock for the past 5 minutes. So these are the 5-minute gainers, and these are the 5-minute losers. And if you're looking to take a short-term trade, this information can be very important, and I do like this feature. Next, you have the financial calendar, which is available if you Google it. It's very easy to find this information, but once again, many brokers don't have it built into their system, so I do like that they have it built in. This is where you can see upcoming earnings reports, upcoming dividends, and possibly new IPOs. Next, they have a screener, which, many apps do have a screener, but at the same time, a lot of them don't. For example, on Robinhood, I don't believe there's a way that you can screen. And pretty much what screening is that you can search for certain stocks that fit your criteria. For example, if you're looking for a certain stock, you can filter it by price, PE ratio, market cap, volume, profits. There's hundreds or possibly thousands of possibilities, and having a screener, you can create custom screeners. It can be very important depending on what you're looking for and how you're trading. Lastly, they have a heat map. I'm not sure if you guys have seen a heat map, what it is before, but pretty much what it does is it takes a group of stocks, like an ETF. For example, this is a heat map of the S&P 500. It breaks it down into different industries. For example, you have healthcare, financials, consumer staples, energy, and it shows you how each category is actually performing for that day. For example, you see the technology section, information technology, is not performing very well for the day. From there, you can click on individual sections within the technology category, such as semiconductors, and you'll see as a whole, in general, semiconductors are down about 1.28% today, with NVIDIA leading, down 1.47%, followed by Intel, and then Broadcom, and then Texas Instruments. So using this, you can see which sectors are strong, which sectors are weak, and also what individual stocks within those sectors are, leading the move up or the move down. Next, let's get into the live trading. This is what we're all here for. We don't download trading apps to look at the news feed or to, create screeners. We're downloading this app to trade stocks. So let's talk about how the app trades. So when you're on the app, like I said, they do have a lot of limited possibilities. In the live trading section, you'll see your account value, your buying power, your profit and loss. Just like any other account statement, every broker is pretty much going to offer this. They also offer to tell you your risk rating. If you have money invested, it'll tell you, pretty much how risky your account is. Unfortunately, I don't have any money invested with this broker currently, so I won't be able to see that. But that is an option. But let's talk about the actual trading. So let's say that we want to trade Apple. So we click on Apple. We can bring up a chart of Apple, and from there we click trade. Assuming that you have money invested, you'll be able to buy or sell the stock or trade options. So in regards to buying or selling, I will say that you cannot trade fractional shares. So that is kind of a big setback in my opinion. Another thing is that the charts are very plain. You cannot add technical indicators. You can't add like the MACD or the VWAP. And so this is also a very big con in my opinion. Even Robinhood and other brokers don't really have this feature either. But in my opinion, if you are going to be using a specific app, you want to make sure the app can, give you everything you need. And this app, while it is, free and it does have a lot of features, it just doesn't have everything that you're going to need. So you can trade on it, but I would recommend charting on a different platform that actually allows proper charts. So looking at the options, you are allowed to trade options on this broker. You're going to have to apply, which just is pretty much just clicking a couple of buttons. And this is roughly what the options chain looks like. You can see it's very similar to the majority of options chains. I will say it doesn't really give a whole lot of information, specifically talking about like the Greeks. So you're going to want to see the Greeks like theta and know exactly how the option price is affected by the Greeks. And I'm sure they have access to that. However, it's good to see it right on the options chain and not have to dig deeper. So in regards to actual trading, overall, I would give it a con that the charts are very poor. The trading is only in fractional shares, as well as the options chain just isn't as good as other brokers are currently offering. They do offer access to level 2 trading, which is, it is interesting, but once again, many brokers at this point are already offering that type of, level 2 and also technical indicators and everything else that I've already mentioned. So that's the app, guys. This is called TradeUp. Once again, if you want to get the free stock or if you want to check it out, I'll have my link in the description. So feel free to check that out and download it. Other than that, once again, guys, thanks for watching the video. As always, it's greatly appreciated. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so now, and we'll talk to you guys soon.